Okay, another sign that the summer is coming to a close, Josh. Snow on Mount Hood.
Yeah, I think a lot of skiers and snowboarders pretty excited to see some sights like this.
Yeah.
And also means that the colder temperatures will eventually work their way into our area.
But today's all right. It's mild out there.
Yes, mild across the board, and even in Mount Hood standards, seeing those mild conditions as our temperatures start to dip below freezing. But nice little dusting of the snowfall over Oregon's highest peak, as we're kind of locked in right now with that cloud coverage, a little bit of fog out towards the government camp area as our temperature at that elevation sits at about 41. I want to take you over the past 6 hours though. For Mount Hood, you'll notice just a few little splotches of the pinks, the whites, the light blues. That's all the snowfall that did manage to make an appearance over Mount Hood earlier today. Now our sky's starting to clear. The last little bit of moisture starting to pull its way out of our area as drier, sunnier skies once again return to the Pacific Northwest. That's where we take a live look out over downtown Portland. Some popcorn cumulonimbus clouds there off in the distance. 63 is where we currently sit. Our sunset tonight, try 712 as the winds remain out of the west at about 12. Seeing our morning lows this morning though, on the mild side, thanks to that cloud coverage, only falling back into the mid-50s in many cases. That's a warming trend compared to some of the 40s that we saw out through wine country just yesterday morning. But tomorrow morning with clear skies, we expect to fall back in Portland below the 50-degree mark. That would be the first time we've touched 40 degrees during the early morning hours since June 1st. Where we managed to fall back to about 47. But the cooling pattern, that's all due to an upper level low pressure system kind of getting cut off from the main flow of everything. So that's going to keep the cool pool of air over the Pacific Northwest as we work our way into Thursday before we gradually warm up with this very minimal ridge before a larger trough. The culprit for the fall-like weather that is on the horizon starts to build out over the Gulf of Alaska, taking aim at much of the Pacific Northwest, and that will help to usher in some wet weather. We're in talks about potentially seeing our first atmospheric river of the fall season just in time for the official start of fall by the week's end. So over the next 6 to 10 days, expecting to see wetter than normal conditions for much of the western half of the country, and also seeing a bit of a cool down for us as well with near normal temperatures, which puts us into the 70s, low 70s in many cases out towards western Washington. So here's your timeline, your FUTURECAST. Still seeing a few hit and miss showers east of the Cascades, but the I-5 corridor, the shoreline, picking up on the dry skies for the rest of today, and that clearing trend is going to keep those temperatures on the cold side for the start of the day tomorrow in many locations. And by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon, seeing plentiful sunshine once again, that in turn helping to warm up our temperatures into the mid-70s. As far as the additional rain accumulation goes, at least through tomorrow afternoon, I even think that 1/100th of an inch is a little bit a stretch for the Portland area. But as we fast forward into next week, that's where some coastal communities could see about 2.5 inches, almost a full inch for Portland. As today, we expect to see temperatures dance around 70 degrees tonight, falling to the upper 40s for the first time in months, thanks to those clear skies and that latest cold front, as our 7-day forecast does show that the sunny, drier skies do return. Thursday, I do want to point out that we have a little bit of wildfire smoke from Canada starting to funnel its way back into our area, but just look at all of that wet weather potential, cooler temperatures next week. All of that, of course, after the first day of fall, which is on Friday. It's really going to start to feel like the fall season. So, Jenny, you can start pulling out your long sleeve dresses, your boots.
Corduroy. Work the heater again. I feel like every time we use our heater for the first time in a while, it has like a weird smell.
Weird smell, kind of.
But, you know.
Yeah. That's okay. Hey,
it's okay.
Sign of the changing seasons.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. We'll be right back with more news and weather. Stick around.